Fine. Clemson Sports Talk has come back to Columbia. Hello, everybody. Lawton Swine back at it once again. 316 Greystone Boulevard. Fast-paced, action-packed. Hurry up and no huddle sports talk programming for you. Fox Sports Radio 1400 in the Midlands, heard around the world on the iHeart radio application. Simulation Friday. I wish the day started with S. Simulation Saturday here, because technically we are simulating Saturday. Oklahoma, Ohio State, number 2 versus number 5. Oklahoma jumps out to a huge lead. I mean, tremendous. And it looks like an interception is going to... Oh. We are in overtime. Ohio State, Oklahoma.
This is why I don't trust Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield, after having a big lead, just throws an interception that almost was returned. Mayfield saved the day.
Field goal ends it, though.
Field goal puts this thing away, 43-43. They were up huge. I mean,
it was 34-14, something like that.
And Ohio State comes back in our official Clemson Sports Talk simulation, also simulated tonight. We'll simulate the Battle of Columbia as the Gamecocks take on the Tigers. South Carolina and Missouri in Columbia.
Yeah, let's clarify.
Missouri. We'll also have a battle of the Tigers versus the Tigers. Clemson versus Auburn here on our official Simulation Saturday edition of the show that shakes the Southland. How's that for alliteration, people? All the math teachers, or excuse me, all the English teachers out there are excited about the alliteration there. Without further ado, though, he's already spoken the rules and broken the rules. He is none other than Lowell, the producer. Lowell, what's going on, my man?
Bada boom, realest champs in the room. How are you doing?
Ohio State with the victory, 49-43 in overtime.
Wow.
What a comeback.
I told you, I don't trust Baker Mayfield. I don't trust him in big games.
You know, when you're up 34-14, though, and I think this could go back to the situation this past weekend with Texas A&M and UCLA, I feel like it's not all on the quarterback here in that situation.
545 total yards for Mr. Mayfield in this game.
Yeah, he did about everything he could do, I think. J.T. Barrett.
Six total touchdowns.
Ridiculous.
He is the Ohio State offense.
Ridiculous. So there you go. The Buckeyes survive after being down big. The home crowd in Columbus. That's going to be an epic, epic matchup. Cannot wait for that game this weekend. The problem is Clemson will be in the midst of their own matchup, so you're not going to really have a chance to watch it unless you're at home pulling off the dueling screens of doom, which, raise your hand if you've been known to do that. I think we all have at some point. Heck, this past weekend, when I got back from the Clemson game, I went 4 wide on the ESPN app and then 1 telly in the corner. So I had 5 going. It was nice. 21 points in the fourth quarter for Ohio State to equalize that game after being down 34-14 at the half. There you go. That's the way it starts here on the show that shakes the Southland. On Twitter, at Clemson Sports. You can tweet to the hashtag CST show as well. Now, one of our incredibly gracious and loyal sponsors, Dennis from DNC Trucking and Transport, got up with me yesterday and sent me some information about a pretty incredible event that they've got going on at Callaway's over in West Columbia this coming weekend. And I don't know how many of you guys have been over to Callaway's. It's off of Highway 1, kind of across from the Walmart / behind, I would say maybe behind Sonic. I think that's the best way to put it. But in just a little bit, we're going to give away some plates of food there. Over at Callaway's tomorrow, Saturday, September the 9th, from 12 to 6 p.m., homemade barbecue plates. The proceeds are going to go to the Burned Children's Fund at the MUSC Children's Health Medical University of South Carolina. So a really, really neat thing that Callaway's is doing, and I've got four of these for you to pick up tomorrow over at Callaway's. Matter of fact, Lowell, why don't we go ahead and give away, I'm going to give away 2 pair. Why don't we go ahead and give away 1 pair of those, again, to benefit the Burn Children's Fund at Callaway Sports Bar and Grill in West Columbia. Here's the number to call up right now. Let's take caller number 3, Lowell. 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832. Again, this is for 2 $12 homemade barbecue plates over at Callaway's. It's going to go to benefit the Burn Children's Fund. And all we need from you is your name and phone number, and then we'll set up with you to make sure that you can pick up the plates of barbecue tomorrow, again, between 12 and 6 at Callaway's in West Columbia. The number, again, 803-978-1832. Looking at these games, though, that are on, we got South Carolina and Missouri on now. If you're watching the show on YouTube, always a good time to watch that on Friday and keep up with what's going on in our simulated world of college sports. But, Lowell, when you sit here today and think back through the matchups at hand this weekend, buddy, I'll tell you what, lots of incredible football games this weekend. I know that the opener, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, is one that a lot of people focus on. But in terms of, sitting here and looking through the matchups that are presenting themselves, like Louisville and North Carolina, which I think is an underrated game at noon. You've also got this Ohio State-Oklahoma matchup, which we just talked about. I'm very interested now in the South Carolina-Missouri game because, in all honesty, South Carolina better than I expected. Better than I expected. Even though they got defeated statistically all over the place. They got defeated all over the place statistically. Here they are, 1-0, going into a game that I felt really good about them winning this year. I didn't have South Carolina qualifying for a bowl game. I'm not ashamed to admit that fact. I did not have South Carolina going on to win a bowl game. But nonetheless, or going on to play in a bowl game. But nonetheless, they win the opener. And now, man, I really think they could get to 4-0 before taking on Texas A&M on the road. Lowell, we got a winner on those first 2 plates of barbecue, again, to benefit the Burn Children's Fund. Again, Callaway Sports Bar and Grill over in West Columbia tomorrow between 12 and 6 p.m. You did get a winner there. What's the first name of our winner over there?
Howard.
Howard. Congratulations, Howard, man. Thanks a lot. I will be in touch with you, Howard, to set everything up so that you can go over there and pick up 2 plates of barbecue. We'll give away a couple other plates a little bit later in the day, a little later in the program. We'll give some more away. Lowell, what do you say we give some more away around 6:32? We'll give away the last 2 that we've got, the last 2 plates of barbecue tomorrow.
That sounds good to me.
Again, you got to get over there tomorrow. If you can't make it tomorrow, they're just going to be gone. So you don't really lose anything here. But if you can make it over there, Howard, they'll have your name, and we'll get you all squared away. Big games, though, this weekend, Lowell. But I think the biggest thing that may be happening this weekend is the fact that games have been canceled. And I don't mean to be one who's diminishing the Storm, because I am not. The Storm is what it is. And there are a lot of games that have been canceled, like Miami's road game at Arkansas State, which I haven't figured that out yet. But you also had Florida's game canceled this weekend against Northern Colorado. And it was announced earlier, late last night, one of the 2, I can't remember, that FSU's game has been canceled as well. The problem with that against Louisiana Monroe is this. James Blackman, quarterback for Florida State. And again, I understand it's a hurricane, and I understand that lives are at risk, and I'm not trying to diminish that in any means to try to make you believe that sports is more important than life, because it is not. But this is bad news in many ways for Florida State, because Blackman has the same amount of career passes during a college game as I do. None. Zero. Zip. Zilch. Nada. Now, Lowell, you correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe he was in 3 plays last week. He didn't throw a pass.
I believe that's right.
They play Miami next week.
And, you talk about some of the best defensive fronts in football. Miami's defensive front is very, very good. They have a very good defense. And Florida State's offensive line has not been was not kind to DeAndre Francois last year or in the game against Alabama. And so you worry about what might happen to James Blackman against this defense.
Yeah, and not just that, but this is what we were talking about in terms of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Think about this from Clemson's perspective for a minute, if you will. Florida State now goes into what may very well be the most difficult game remaining on their schedule outside of their matchup against Clemson with a quarterback that has zero experience throwing the football, has zero experience playing outside of the 3 snaps he played in mop-up duty when the game was set and everybody kind of knew that. I mean, Florida State fans were wanting to vomit at that point after DeAndre Francois went down. Could you lose to Miami and then still win the Atlantic Coast Conference? You could. Nobody's going to deny that fact. But if you do, it becomes increasingly more difficult. And it was already extremely difficult for Florida State. But I think the thing that you would have at least had in the back of your mind if you were a Seminole fan is the mere fact that this guy, James Blackman, had a week to prepare for Miami, had a week to face live bullets, so to speak, had a week to throw the football, get into a rhythm, kind of feel his way through the offense and feel himself out a little bit and kind of know where he is. Dude, you don't get that luxury. You don't get that luxury. In a game this week against Louisiana Monroe for Florida State, and James Blackman would have been a benefit. Because what if he's not good? You might have found that out this weekend.
Well, it's the same benefit that you got from Kelly Bryant taking snaps against Kent State. It's live bullets from a defense that's not your own coming at you. And it's a chance to kind of get your feet wet in a real college football game, even if the opponent is overmatched. And instead of getting that, now you get to roll up on Miami's defense with no experience.
803-978-1832. 803-978-1832. The hashtag on Twitter, CST Show. You can follow the program at Clemson Sports. That's Clemson News, Notes, Information, and more 24 hours a day. Follow Lowell at Lowell CST. Lowell, that's not good news for Florida State. And again, I don't want anybody to think, I can't believe a couple of radio show hosts are putting Florida State's season ahead of, humanity. That's not what I'm getting at. What I am saying is this. Florida State would have been better suited trying to, in my opinion, I think they would have been better suited trying to convince Louisiana Monroe, let's play this game in Detroit. Let's play this game anywhere but in the state of Florida. Let's play it at Louisiana Monroe.
Right. I was going to say, remember what Florida and LSU did last year.
Yeah, let's play the game. I can't imagine, and I haven't heard anything, Lowell. I need you to do some digging. Maybe Jimbo said something, but I can't imagine that Jimbo Fisher isn't just chomping at the bit to play this game. I mean, when I heard that Miami's game was canceled, and again, I think about the relative position of Miami to the Storm, but knowing that Miami's playing away on the road in Arkansas, I didn't get that. Florida hosting Northern Colorado, nothing really to gain there by any means. But Florida State needed to play this game before they play Miami. They needed to play it. They almost had to play this game, in my opinion, to feel better about their chances against Miami next weekend, to give themselves an opportunity to know what they've got at quarterback. And I guarantee you that Coach Fisher is not excited about the fact that James Blackman is not going to be getting a chance to step out on the football field and throw the ball around this weekend. 803-978-1832. Again, congratulations, Howard. Appreciate you, man, calling up, winning those 2 free homemade barbecue plates at Callaway Sports Bar and Grill to benefit the Burn Children's Fund. We'll get in touch with you after the show, Howard, to set everything else up. We're going to give away another 2 plates, though, before the show ends. Lowell, any other games out there? I know Oklahoma and Ohio State, the one we just simulated that went to overtime, is a big one. I know Auburn and Clemson is the other matchup that everybody's wanting to get a piece of this weekend. Are you into the Stanford Southern Cal game? Is that one that's piqued your interest at all? Because I'm going to tell you, I'm not all that interested in it.
I'll tell you I am. I am very interested in this game. I want to see what Stanford really has at quarterback. Their quarterback looked good. Keller Chris, I believe his name is, looked really good last week against Rice. Of course, that's, with the caveat that they did play Rice. But I love, I told you about Bryce Love. I've fallen in love with this guy at running back. No pun intended. I think he's a monster. I want to see what he can do against Southern Cal's defense, who, let's be honest, they struggled against Western Michigan last week. So I want to see if USC can bounce back against Stanford at home. I got to be honest, looking at both teams, I don't like USC in that game. I really like Stanford to come in and kind of roll USC up a little bit.
Another game that I think is going to catch a lot of people's attention, that 3:30 start between Pitt and Penn State. Remember Max Brown, the former quarterback at Southern Cal? He's at Pitt now. Penn State last weekend, a little bit of a slow start on their way to a big blowout in the season opener. But Pitt's defense, I tell you, if they can keep Saquon Barkley in check, and he may be the biggest beast in college football while I'm watching Lowell shake his head. If they can find a way to keep him in check, and they're not the best defensive squad in America, but that's the key to making this game interesting. Keep Barkley in check, and I think you give yourself a chance. You let him get loose, though, buddy, that guy's something. He's power, speed. He's a little bit of everything.
Well, here's the other thing. Not only do you have to worry about Saquon Barkley, you got to worry about Trace McSorley through the air, because Pitt's secondary last year was abysmal. And I know that Clemson lost that game against Pitt, but Deshaun Watson threw for 600 yards in that ball game?
It was not good.
I see Penn State covering the 22-point spread, to be honest with you.
Well, and they may very well. But again, Pitt, Penn State, old school, backyard matchup, a chance to knock off a top 5 team. Keep your eyes on that one at 3:30. That'll be a good afternoon football game unless Saquon Barkley goes crazy. Stay with us. We'll talk a little high school football.
Update on Hurricane Irma. I'm Lisa Carter, NBC News Radio. South Florida and the Florida Keys under a hurricane watch and a storm surge watch as Hurricane Irma heads that direction. The National Hurricane Center says Irma's maximum sustained winds have dropped slightly to 175 miles an hour. It's expected to land near Miami Sunday morning. Florida Governor Rick Scott warning that Irma is larger than his entire state.
Regardless of what coast you live on, be prepared to evacuate. Floridians on the West Coast cannot be complacent. This storm can still move west.
Forecasters also say the chance of direct impacts increasing in portions of Georgia and the Carolinas, but they say it's too early for specifics. Many people in Florida heeding the warning to evacuate, get out before the storm hits, but there are problems with long lines and fuel outages. Governor Scott says he's working to get federal rules and regulations waived to get as much fuel into the state as possible.
Lisa Carter, NBC News Radio. Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community as a certified primary stroke center. Our acute acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
It is the show that shakes the Southland. Fox Sports Radio 1400, the iHeart Radio app as well. Lawton Swan, the producer, Lou Bajak, joining us to talk a little high school football here on the Friday edition of Clemson Sports Talk. Lou, can I call you Captain Lou? What's going on, buddy?
Nothing much. How you guys doing?
Man, we're good. We're running Simulation Saturday here in studio as we watch South Carolina and Missouri. We've got Clemson and Auburn on the docket. In overtime, Ohio State took down Oklahoma. So there's just a lot of great football going on over here at Greystone Boulevard right now.
Yeah, I can't wait. Everything is backloaded tomorrow. All the good matchups. You throw in Georgia, Notre Dame, and the 7:30 window. Great games tomorrow. Can't wait.
Lou, where are you tonight for the folks in the Midlands? I know you're out and about doing your thing, covering high school football. Where's the place to be?
I'm at Eden Stadium at Hammond, where Hammond will play Ben Lippen in a big matchup in Skeeza. The last two 3A champions, Hammond winning in 2015, Ben Lippen last year, and Ben Lippen pretty loaded and has a good chance to repeat. And I think Hammond will probably one of the teams stand in their way. So it should be a great matchup. A lot of talent on the field, a lot of Division I talent on the field between both squads. So it should be a good ball game tonight.
Lou, last week, of course, some issues with games having to be moved around. Did everybody get their games in, or what was the scenario with that?
Yeah, everyone got their games in last week. Some were moved up, and then some were even played. A few played on the Saturday. This week, kind of the same. Dutch Fork's the only one in the area that had their game canceled because they were supposed to play Somerville tonight, but when it looked like the hurricane was going to go towards the coast, Dorchester schools canceled today, and they couldn't play last night. The Dorchester School District, they didn't want to travel last night, so Dutch Fork basically going to play 9 regular season games. And Spring Valley had their game moved up with Sumter last night, and Heathwood as well with Pinewood Prep. But everyone else is on tonight in the area. A few teams in Beaufort County, I think, got their games canceled. But everyone's good to go tonight, and should be a lot of good football on here in the Midlands.
Lou Bajak joining us. He's, of course, covers the state newspapers. I don't even know how to say it. He covers high school football for the state newspaper on Twitter at Lou at the State. All right, Lou, up in the northeast part of town, Blythewood at Westwood. You know, a couple of new rivals squaring off over there. Your thoughts on that matchup?
Yeah, I think it's the 6th game, but the team both teams kind of bragging rights. They play for the Axe. I forget what the name of the Axe is called, but it should be a good ball game. I like Westwood. Lightwood kind of beat up at the quarterback position, injuries, and I think suspension as well. So they'll be starting a third-string quarterback tonight. So I like Westwood in this one.
You know, one of the schools that's been incredible the past few years, kind of keeping my eye on them from afar, Newberry, man. Really like that program. They take on Chapin. They're actually hosting the Eagles tonight up in Newberry. Newberry's off to a 3-0 start, but, again, seems to be one of the better teams here. I guess we'll extend the Midlands just a little bit north, but Newberry, yeah, playing some very good football.
Yeah, Coach Phil Strickland. I mean, he's one of the best in the state, not just this year, but in overall. I mean, he's going in the Hall of Fame in this year, Football Coaches Hall of Fame. They got a running back that doesn't get a lot of like Division I looks, and that he's a small guy, but I mean, Amir Abrams had like 2,400 yards last year and is off to a good start this year. 10 touchdowns already and 500 yards. So Chapin's going to have their hands full stopping that Newberry running attack. And they're very physical and big up front. Newberry got a big offensive line. Yeah,
Coach Strickland's been at it for a long, long time. He's so successful at what he does. And, again, a couple of the other big programs in the area that, for whatever reason, man, when I was growing up just a little further south of here, you know, you're looking at some programs that have really good football teams. Lexington and North Augusta are squaring off tonight as well. Another big matchup. Not really in the Midlands. You're tying the Midlands and the CSRA together there for that one. But, again, the Yellow Jackets always a tough out for anybody.
Yeah, I think they used to be in the same region together, too. So, yeah, Lexington's off to a good start under new coach Perry Woolbright, 3-0. So if they could win tonight, they'll go 4-0 going in next week's big matchup against Spring Valley, who won last night and is off to a 4-0 start. So Coach Woolbright's done a good job taking over for Coach Stepp, and they don't throw the ball as much as Coach Stepp. They rely on the running game, but they've played well, and they got a very good defense. A couple defensive end, Jalen McCoy, and good linebackers in Kripe and Cromer.
You know, one final question for you here, talking about those teams that just have that old school rivalry, kind of the city of Columbia divided, so to speak. Richland Northeast travels down to Lower Richland for that game down in Hopkins. Kind of just give us the insight on what you're expecting there and what anybody heading to that game can expect to see.
We'll see a nice brand new turf. First of all, Lower Richland just played their first game there. They got new turf and doing renovations there. Both teams, I mean, coming into the game, Lower Richland just snapped their, I think, 19-20 game losing streak last week. Rodney Barr, they got some talent. They're a good offensive club with Goodwin receiver and Higgins at quarterback. Richland Northeast, Bennett Weigel's in his first year, took over for Jay Fry. And they throw the ball a lot more. They won their opener, looked good in their opener against Swansea, and lost last week. So I think you're going to see a lot of points, and the ball is going to be flying in the air as well.
Lou, not to put you on the spot, who are the top three teams right now in the Midlands, in your opinion?
I would say, in no order, I would say Spring Valley, Dutch Fork, and a toss-up between Irmo and Newberry.
There you go. Best in the business, Lou Bajak on Twitter, @Lou@the-State. Lou, man, look forward to next Friday. Have fun out there at the ballpark. Don't eat too many hot dogs, Lou. Come on now.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. There he is, Lou Bajak. Well, I'm going to admit that I am a sucker for well, listen. In the upstate, if you say a chili dog again, I don't want to get too far into this conversation, but that is just chili in a bun. Don't do that.
That's so weird.
I'm a fan of a chili dog, though. That's got the dog and the chili, onions, ketchup, and mustard. If I'm in a ballpark and they have that, I'm all over it. By the way, you know one of my biggest disappointments with Clemson University right now in terms of the press box?
The lack of beer.
Yes, that's the biggest concern. Yeah, I don't think they've ever had beer in the press box. Not that I'm aware of. We used to have popcorn. All you could eat popcorn. I'm convinced that a portion of Dabo Swinney's salary is now being paid by the lack of popcorn for the press. I like that free popcorn, man. That's such a benefit. Gone. No popcorn. You know what they have now, though? I will admit this. We played at Auburn last year. There had never been ice cream at Clemson, Lowell. Ever. Now there's dum-dums, there's dreamsicles, push pops, fruit bars.
Oh, I love me a push pop.
Oh, they got them. They got them, Lowell. If I'm ever sick, you can take my press credential and go eat a push pop for lunch, dinner. You can eat 3 of them. They just leave them out all game. How beautiful is that? I saw David Hood the other day. He was eyeballing some cookies over there. I was like, David, is that lunch or dinner? He kind of chuckled. 803-978-1832. We'll update you on Simulation Saturday here on the show that shakes the Southland. How's that, Ms. Zidlick, for alliteration?
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
From two men into truck movers who care, tonight the skies will stay clear and the temperatures will fall comfortably into the upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunny and beautiful, highs near 80 degrees. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by South Carolina Department of Insurance.
Ray Farmer, Director of the South Carolina Department of Insurance.
Hurricane season is upon us. Help protect your family and property by being storm ready. Make an emergency plan. Prepare a home inventory and review your insurance policy. Learn more ways to be storm ready at doi.sc.gov.
iHeart Radio. All your favorite music. All your favorite stations, all free. Need a break from the world? Open the iHeartRadio app. Pick a song, a playlist, an artist, or even a podcast, and immerse yourself in your own personal getaway space. Sometimes you just need to tune out the world. So tune in to iHeartRadio. Download or open the free iHeartRadio app today.
You're listening to Clemson Sports Talk with my dad, Lawton Swan, on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and on the iHeartRadio app.
803-978-1832. Last night, Idaho State, Utah State. It was Utah State, 51-13 in a game 14 people watched. Is that... Oh, sorry, Lowell. 16 people tuned in to see that one. Tonight, though, 3 matchups. Alcorn State versus Florida International at 7 o'clock. Oklahoma State, the number 11 ranked team in the country, a team that I'll tell you, they've got an offense. Tune into that. ESPN2, 8 o'clock versus South Alabama. Now, South Alabama should not present the stiffest challenge whatsoever. But check out Mason Rudolph slinging the pill over there. His brother Logan, a part of the Clemson Tigers, by the way.
Yeah, Mason, local product, Rock Hill.
How is one brother, like most of the time, like, okay, in my high school, when I was a kid, quarterback Brew Pender. Gamecocks, you might know him, played defensive back at South Carolina. His brother, Britt Pender, Britt Pender's son, now the quarterback at Barnwell. Our good buddy Duff hanging out, having some fun. Sometimes I feel like the gorillas at the zoo. People just walk by and make faces at us through the windows here. It's a fishbowl. Is that what you call this room, a fishbowl?
I don't know about a fishbowl. I don't know if that's an accurate statement. It is like a zoo cage.
Now listen, Lowell, if you ever start sleeping with your rear end up against the glass over there, like those gorillas at the zoo, they're gonna kick us out of here. Okay, that might be endearing and cute at the zoo for people to walk up. Not endearing and cute here. Just make a note.
I have it written down.
All right, good. So anyway, how is it though that one brother can be a defensive star and the other brother can be a quarterback? You know what I mean? Like most of the time, I don't know if it's genetics. I don't know if it's coincidence, but the Neal family in Barnwell, also just a line of quarterbacks. From, Thurman Neal to Myron Neal, you just go on down. Everybody that had the last name Neal was a quarterback. Yeah, maybe I'm from too small of a hometown. And there wasn't a big enough pool to choose from. But the fact that you got one brother in Mason Rudolph who's a star quarterback, maybe the top quarterback this year in college football by the end of the season, you never know, out at Oklahoma State. Then his brother Logan, linebacker, defensive end, kind of hybrid player for Clemson as a freshman.
You know what's crazy about Mason Rudolph? I don't remember either of the in-state schools really giving him a look.
I remember him coming out and being a name. But correct me if I'm wrong, was he not in Deshaun Watson's class?
Class of 2014.
So yeah, that would class of 2014.
Yep, that would have been Deshaun Watson's class.
So that would have precluded Clemson from looking at him in a lot of respects or giving him an offer. By the way, in our simulation Saturday here, Clemson Sports Talk simulation Saturday, South Carolina leads Missouri right now 27-7. 3 minutes or third quarter, about a minute 33. Michael Scarnecchia leading the way for the Gamecocks as
Jake Bentley went down hurt.
Is Scarnecchia their actual backup, or
I guess
is he off the team now?
I guess so.
I'll be honest, South Carolina. I'm not.
By the way,
South Carolina Google.
By the way, South Carolina did not offer Mason Rudolph.
Did not.
Did not.
Let's see. No, I don't think Scarnecchia is even there. This game is invalid. I think we've invalidated this. No, he's still there. Okay, still good. This game's still good. Listen, if you had a guy that wasn't quarterback, I'd have an issue with it. But South Carolina up big, low. Is this outcome in the simulation so far, heading towards the fourth quarter, surprise you?
Yeah, a little bit. Especially since Jake Bentley had 2 interceptions in the first quarter. South Carolina's defense, though. The defense has like 7 sacks in this game against Missouri.
Yeah, gobbling up Missouri left and right. By the way, there is another game tonight, Ohio at Purdue. That's on FS1 also at 8 o'clock. Memphis and Central Florida, UCF, was canceled. Tomorrow, kickoffs at noon include the following: Cincinnati at number 8 Michigan, Florida Atlantic at number 9 Wisconsin, number 17 Louisville at North Carolina, Charlotte plays at number 19 Kansas State, Northwestern's at Duke, East Carolina's at West Virginia, Buffalo's at Army, Townsend's at Maryland, Eastern Kentucky's at Kentucky, UT Martin at Ole Miss, Iowa plays at Iowa State. That's the slate of 12 o'clock games tomorrow. There is one 12:30 game, Jacksonville State at Georgia Tech, and then a 1 o'clock start between Wake Forest and Boston College. There's one 2 p.m. start between Texas and Colorado State, and a little later in the program, we'll update you on all of the 3 o'clock, 3:30 starts up to the evening's games. Big matchups, though, in the latter half of the schedule, or the latter half of the slate of games heading into heading into the matchups between Clemson and Auburn and Ohio State and Oklahoma. By the way, tonight, 7 o'clock coming up, the Clemson Tigers will take on North Carolina State on the road. The number 3 ranked Clemson Tiger men's soccer team on the road in Raleigh, taking on the Wolfpack of NC State. Clemson's 4-0, off to a good start for Coach Noonan's squad. The Tigers played in their first road matchup of the season against Georgia Southern and won 2-1 in overtime. Now the Tigers will head up to Raleigh. Clemson also defeated South Carolina 4-1 last Friday. The win was Mike Noonan's 300th career victory. But not to be outdone by the number 3 ranked men in soccer, Clemson's number 4 ranked women's soccer team will host South Carolina tonight at historic Riggs Field at 7 p.m. The Tigers remain undefeated as they downed Georgia 2-0 on Sunday. Sophomore Mackenzie Smith scored the first goal of her career in the 52nd minute against Georgia, and in the 58th minute, senior Jenny Erickson netted her 3rd goal of the season. Again, the Gamecocks, though, are off to a 5-1 start in 2017, scoring 12 goals and only allowing 5 on the season. So it's a matchup of top 7 teams at historic Riggs Field tonight, 7 o'clock. That'll get underway between the women's, the South Carolina women's and the Clemson women's soccer team. Should be an unbelievable matchup there between a couple of very good programs. And not to mention the fact that Clemson's football team also ranked number 3 in the country. As I said earlier in the week, what a time to be a Tiger. What a time to be a college student at Clemson. Talking Donkey chiming in via the Ocean Reef Resort text line. Swanee is listening to the podcast. He says, I'm a little late to the conversation, but that transfer rule you were talking about would decimate mid-power 5 and smaller schools. Anytime one of those mid to smaller schools gets a diamond in the rough or spends years developing an average player into a great player, he would be poached away. He says it wouldn't hurt the Blue Bloods, but it would kill the talent on the roster of everyone else. Just thinking. Well, that is you know what, Talking Donkey? That's why you're the Talking Donkey. You give us things to think about. I'm gonna let that percolate through the break, and then when we come back, I'll weigh in on it because I think you might be onto something, but maybe there's a solution for that as well. Stay with us here on Fox Sports Radio.
Calling all brides. So you've got the ring. Now what? Plan your dream wedding at the Fall Bridal Showcase. It's Sunday, September 17th, where you can find everything for your wedding in just one afternoon. How nice is that? The best wedding pros. They've got food, drinks, and fun, selfie stations, prizes, and giveaways. Oh my gosh, so much more. Presented by Southern Way Catering, Carolina Bride Magazine, American Floral, Columbia Bridal Associates, and 1047 WNOK. You do not want to miss this. Sunday, September 17th at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center. Tickets are at bridecityshows.com, bridecityshows.com.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
This is Bob. Bob is going to shop for a diamond. Bob finds a diamond online that's a few $100s cheaper than a local store. Bob is so happy he's saved himself some money. This is Mary.
Hello.
Mary's dating Bob. Bob comes over to Mary's house and pops the question. Mary squeals.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening.
And then says,
Wait, what's wrong with this diamond? It's yellow and has spots.
Bob is shocked. Mary runs away, never to be seen with Bob again. The moral to this story, don't be Bob. When you want the right diamond to pop the question for the love of your life, shop Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse. Our consultants are trained to help you through the diamond buying process. They'll educate you so you can make the most important jewelry purchase of your life with confidence. Our goal is for you to find the perfect diamond that she'll cherish forever. And that's how you make sure your story has a happily ever after ending. Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse, for life's every moment. Don't be Bob.
Katie, where's your Jergens? My lotion? Here in the shower. In the shower? I use Wet Skin Moisturizer from Jergens. It's a lotion that works with water to instantly lock in moisture from my shower. My skin stays soft and luminous all day without a heavy, sticky feel. It's all-day moisture made simple.
Well, I did always teach you to enjoy the simple things in life. Can I borrow your Jergens Wet Skin Moisturizer?
Of course, Mom.
Jergens, let your beautiful shine.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the 2016 College Football National Champion, Clemson Tigers.
It is the official Clemson Sports Talk Simulation Saturday here, 316 Greystone Boulevard, South Carolina and Missouri. If you want to watch, head over to ClemsonSportsTalk.com. We've got it up right now streaming for you. Missouri down 27-14. About 3 minutes left, though. They are inside the 10-yard line, threatening to make this a one-score game. And, almost. How you pronounce that name? Demaria Crockett just was forced out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. Missouri can pick up a first down, though. Drew Lock on the keeper. He'll come up just a hair shy. It's 4th and 1 for Missouri.
I think you got to go for it. 2:42 left.
Field goal doesn't help you.
Here they go.
You just need a yard to get a first down.
This is the ball game.
Missouri's going to line up.
It's the ball game right here. Can the South Carolina defense come through again?
Let's see. Drops back.
Looking all day. Touchdown, Missouri.
Missouri scores. Missouri down 7. They'll kick the extra point here. 2:28 with 3 timeouts to play defense. Try to get the ball. So, Lock to Mason for the touchdown. All right, back to what Talking Donkey was saying. By the way, you want to be a part of the program, 803-978-1832. Hour 2, we're going to give away another 2 plates of barbecue to Callaway's over in West Columbia, and we're doing that again to help benefit the Burn Children's Fund at MUSC, Children's Health. So we'll do that in hour number 2. But Talking Donkey, if you're just joining us, was going back to a podcast edition of the program and said, Swanee, you guys were talking about this new transfer rule that people were potentially wanting to put in place, and that would allow players to just leave freely without any penalty or having to sit out. I know that players at major football programs, Lowell, can transfer to lower divisions and not have to sit out currently. What is the policy for somebody at the FCS level transferring up? Is there already a policy in place that keeps those guys from starting to play immediately? I don't know if there is or there isn't. I know there's not one when you go down. I know that for a fact. By the way, Missouri, with a little break there, South Carolina on a 2nd and 19 threw a pass. They gained about 3 yards, but went out of bounds. Missouri's able to save their timeouts. Oh, but that'll do it, folks.
Wow.
South Carolina with a strike. Shi Smith from Michael Scarnecchia. That was about a 75-yard touchdown that will ice the game. Gamecock Nation going crazy. I can almost see the white towels waving, not in submission but in celebration. I can almost hear, Lowell, in the back of my mind right now, Sandstorm playing in Columbia, Missouri, as the Gamecocks get out to a 35-14 lead. They go for two. Carolina up 14 with 1:28 left. What is the policy, though, Lowell, on FCS players going to FBS?
I believe you have to sit for a year, unless you are a graduate transfer.
But going the other way, you do not.
Going the other way, you do not.
Do you agree with Talking Donkey on this statement? That it would kill the mid-power 5 to small schools?
I don't think it would kill them, because I think there's also a sense of loyalty that goes into some of these guys who go to these smaller schools, because these schools are the ones that gave them the shot. And so I think some of these guys do have somewhat of a sense of loyalty to the school they play for.
Old School Tiger chiming in via the Ocean Reef Resort text line tonight. He says, Swanee, I got Clemson 31, Auburn 22. I got Missouri 33, South Carolina 31. Well, that may be Old School Tiger, but right now where I'm sitting, South Carolina in the official simulation up 35-21 with less than a minute remaining. And that'll mean in hour number 2, we'll be firing up the Clemson Tigers and the Auburn Tigers from Death Valley. Lowell, your quick thoughts on the simulation, not the real game, the simulation that we've got coming up a little later in terms of Clemson and Auburn. How are you feeling for the Tigers' chances in the sim?
I don't know. It's going to depend on it's all on Kelly Bryant's shoulders, because I think the Tigers are going to run the ball pretty well.
Yeah.
I think Kelly Bryant's going to run the ball pretty well. But is he going to make mistakes in the passing game against that Auburn defense?
One of the things that you tweaked this week on this game is you made it a little bit more realistic in terms of the running backs. They actually get tired and get subbed out.
Right. I adjusted the fatigue levels a little bit. So if, C.J. Fuller carries the ball 4 or 5 times in a row, he's going to get pulled out. Tavian Feaster's going to come in. He's going to get a couple carries, and then Fuller will come back in. So I made it a little more realistic.
Now, did you Google search the best settings for that?
I did. I looked it up.
You looked it up?
Yep. I looked it up from the experts.
Okay. And we actually, Rudy Oglesby watching it. J Fight 21's watching it. We actually have some people chatting while the game's on. I'm going to keep up with that chat over on YouTube right now. It's kind of interesting. I got to figure out how to get them a better feed, though, than what I'm giving them right now. In all honesty, it's not spectacular. But I don't know if we could do anything to make it any better than it is. I mean, you can see the score and everything.
Missouri not even going to bother using that last time out.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, we watched Oklahoma get beat by Ohio State earlier after blowing the lead. Oklahoma had a timeout in their pocket, could have called a timeout and kicked the field goal at the end of regulation.
Bad game management by Lincoln Riley.
He's young.
And that's one of the questions that's a legitimate question for this game against Ohio State is, how will Lincoln Riley handle this game?
I mean, he's 34, Lowell. It's a lot of pressure. He's not much older than you. You can't hardly manage that board full of buttons over there, much less managing 85 scholarship athletes in a hostile environment with 80,000 people yelling at you. It's final, folks. From Missouri, look at the total offense for South Carolina. They picked it up there, 312.
Yeah, that second half looked a lot more like what I think the game will actually look like. So I think it was like 10-7 at the half, and I was like, this isn't I don't know about the simulation, but then it picked up. The simulation picked up.
Yeah, 35-21, the final score there from Columbia, Missouri, in our Clemson Sports Talk Saturday simulation. Each and every week right here on the show that shakes the Southland, we'll give you 3 full simulations. You can watch them all over on YouTube or on our website, ClemsonSportsTalk.com. So there it is, Simulation Saturday. 2 games down. Ohio State over Oklahoma in overtime. South Carolina on the road with a 14-point win against Missouri in the Battle of Columbias. And coming up now, when we get back, it'll be Auburn and Clemson, but it'll be running during the break, so you can tune in and watch it on YouTube and on ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Stay with us.
This is Dave, and we're back on Pit Stop Radio. Listen to what our customers say about their pit stop.
I'm a cartoonist. Well, when we go on vacation, we love to stop, and it's clean, convenient, and have everything we need. An energy drink. The older I get, the more energy I need. I drink Monsters, and they have 16 ounces, 2 for $4. That is a very good price, actually. We do enjoy it. Always friendly service.
Want convenience without compromise?
Don't stop till you're at Pit Stop.
Stars and Stripes Sports is a leader in the sports athlete development market, offering innovative health, fitness, training, and player development solutions for players and coaches of all levels of youth sports. Stars and Stripes Sports is looking to add at least 2 people per state to start their own business for sports testing and to market these events locally. We want people to start their programs in early 2017, starting with spring training. Many high-quality athletes fail to reach their potential. Call Chris today, 704-737-9970, or email Chris Carlson at starsandstripesports.com.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Attention, anyone who's suffering from lower back pain. Right now, HealthSource is offering our listeners an absolutely free back pain consultation on a first-come, first-served basis by calling 803-218-9047. Our doctors can find the root cause of your lower back pain and show you how to get well fast and stay well longer. No more pain. No more feeling worn out. Essentially, no more not feeling like yourself. Call 803-218-9047.
It's time to shop at Macy's.
Something special going on?
That's it. Specials. Hundreds of them.
Hundreds of specials?
Hundreds. Fashion for you, me, the kids, jewelry, shoes.
Anything special for the home?
Yep. Hundreds of specials for every room. Electrics, too.
Or we get an extra 20 or 15% off.
With our Macy's Carter Savings Pass.
Okay, let's go.
You're coming?
Well, yeah. I'm special, too.
Aw. Just get in the car.
It's time to shop at Macy's. Extra savings, exclusions apply, including specials. Savings off sale prices.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I feel like if I didn't have anyone to push me, I wouldn't even bother to do it. I got one milestone down the drain, and now I got to work on the next. I see the future is really bright for me. I feel like it doesn't matter the age, as long as you go back and get it done. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
No one gets a diploma alone. You have more support than you realize. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400. WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app.
Fox Sports Trending now.
Breaking news in the National Football League. A Texas judge has granted a temporary restraining order on the 6-game suspension given to running back Ezekiel Elliott by the NFL. This will allow Elliott to continue to play for the Dallas Cowboys. The news coming down within the last hour is Judge Amos Mazat said that Elliott did not receive a fundamentally fair arbitration hearing. Mazat claims the NFL fought to ensure that Elliott and the NFL Players Association wouldn't know the assessments made by lead investigator Kia Roberts, who challenged the credibility of Tiffany Thompson and also recommended that Elliott not serve any suspension for his actions. The judge also said that Elliott did not receive that fair hearing because Harold Henderson refused to allow Elliott's accuser, Tiffany Thompson, and Commissioner Roger Goodell to testify at the appeal hearing. Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., a game-time decision for that matchup against the Cowboys Sunday night.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set, just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
It is hour number 2. That's prime time right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. Lawton Swan, Lowell, the producers. CST Simulation Saturday. We're going to do this every Friday evening. Oh, Mark Fields. Mark Fields, that's why you're not a wide receiver. He should have picked that one and taken it to the house for the folks watching over on YouTube. We got a lot of people actually tuning in right now to watch it on YouTube. I think this is a new angle. This is the new gimmick for you on Fridays. Clemson up 7-0 early. Hunter Renfrow. There's that man again with a touchdown.
Title game hero.
Ray McLeod with a big reception as well. We keep the simulation running through the break. Oh, Tanner Muse looking like Ben Boulware there, gobbling people up left and right. Here we go. What a game. What a game. 803-978-1832. Lowell, in hour number 1, we gave away 2 plates of barbecue. Why don't we do that again right now? Again, for those of you that weren't with us earlier, our good buddy Dennis, who owns DNC Trucking and Transport, sponsors the guest line. He bought a couple of plates of barbecue. It's going to be over at Callaway Sports Bar and Grill in West Columbia tomorrow, Saturday, September the 9th, from 12 to 6 p.m. They got homemade barbecue plates. All the proceeds are going to go to the Burn Children's Fund at MUSC Children's Health Medical Center, Medical University of South Carolina. So, again, we've got 2 plates. We're going to give away these, the last 2 we've got. And we'll get you in touch with Dennis so that you can get over there to Callaway's tomorrow between 12 and 6 and pick up that barbecue plate. All right, here's the phone number. We're going to take caller number 4. 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832. Lowell, the producer's going to do work. Make sure we get the caller in. Lowell, the producer's going to do work. Make sure that we get you those 2 plates of barbecue at Callaway's Sports Bar and Grill in West Columbia, again, to benefit the Burn Children's Fund. We don't do a lot of giveaways like this, but anytime I can give back to the community and help out in some way, I have a little megaphone in front of me. I didn't pay for these. Dennis did. Again, DNC Trucking and Transport paid for these. But we want to make sure that we have an opportunity to participate and help give those away to somebody who may need it, and also to certainly help out with the Burn Children's Fund. Clemson and Auburn in our official CST show simulation here. Christian Wilkins got to eat. Big boy's got to eat. He's having him a big old bowl right now of Auburn quarterback. Jarrett Stidham goes down on a 3rd down. It is 4th and 21. Auburn will punt to the Tigers. Clemson leading 7-0. So we're going to keep you updated as we roll on here on the show that shakes the Southland. 803-978-1832. Again, I think we may have got our 4th caller, so I think we may have a winner in. I know Lowell's getting the name and number now. That was quick. 4 callers in. A hurry trying to get on that barbecue at Callaway. So thank you to Callaway's and thank you to Dennis at DNC Trucking and Transport for allowing us to be a part of that unique opportunity. Watching this game, though, initially, and again, I understand it's just a simulation, and I understand that it's not I understand it's not the real deal here, but Clemson's defense looked stout. Clemson's offense continued to look like they looked, I thought, against Kent State here on the opening drive. Lola, producer, you got caller 4. Who is our winner of those next 2 plates of barbecue tomorrow over at Callaway?
Charles is the winner.
All right, Charles. Well, the good news is for Charles is that he'll be able to pick up those plates of barbecue and watch him a little Clemson football. You go over there about 5:30, just before they finish things up at 6. You can get home to your house, sit down, eat barbecue, watch Tigers be Tigers. Heck, man, if you come through early enough, you might could pick them up, meet them on your way up to Clemson. So congratulations to Harold and Charles, right?
Howard and
Charles. And we'll get up with those guys. I will after the program to line everything up for them. Clemson, what happened here, Lowell? Did I miss a turnover?
3 and out. for Clemson.
3 and out. That's a turnover, basically, in my opinion. 7-0 Tigers, 1:31 remaining in the first quarter of action. I kind of like this Simulation Saturday deal we got going on. This is the new thing. Jay wants to know if you could change the rankings to number 3.
I can't. These are the rankings that were set at the preseason. I don't know how to do all that. I'm not the genius. It's these guys online who are the geniuses. So I have no idea how to change the ranking.
All right, so there we go. So we've got a update from Lowell on how that goes down. Now, talking about how things are going down tomorrow, I recognize that there are a lot of games, some of which you will not be interested in, and I don't think anybody wants to watch UAB and Ball State at 3, so we're just going to jump right in.
I do.
You do?
I like UAB.
3:30. Well, it's a compelling story, that's for sure. 3:30 on ESPN2, Alabama will host Fresno State. Also at 3:30, Penn State will host Pittsburgh. That's going to be on ABC. And number 18, Virginia Tech, will host Delaware. TCU's on the road at Arkansas on CBS at 3:30. Now, there's an interesting matchup. TCU, when you think about them, and Gary Patterson, they've been one of those teams that have, in recent years, Lowell, been inside the top 15 for the majority of seasons, kind of teetering around breaking through and kicking that door down into a BCS championship berth. I mean, they flirted several times. This year, they started, I believe, outside of the top 25 and now trying to fight their way in, sitting there at number 23 at Arkansas. That would be a big victory for them, though, if they could get that. And Arkansas, of course, again, trying to figure things out there with Brett Bielema. He's a hot seat guy. Is there any question? I mean, listen, I know the sound of bacon on a hot plate, and I'm not trying to say that may be a bad reference.
That hog is sizzling.
That hog is sizzling right now. Thank you. I didn't want to reference the fact that Brett Bielema was a little bit overweight. That was not what I was going
Arkansas,
for.
Arkansas,
right, the Razorbacks. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm glad that reference wasn't lost. I was afraid I was going to have to kind of qualify that statement for people out there who think, oh, that's Swanee. He just hates big people. That's not what I was saying at all. I wasn't trying to make fun of the guy's size. I was making fun of the fact that he coached the Razorbacks. All right, good. Thank you, Lowell, for bailing me out over there. Again, not a lot else out there at 3:30 that's going to be overly interesting to a lot of people. I guess San Jose State at Texas, that could be a wake-up game on the Longhorn Network, especially if somehow Coach Herman's boys don't show up for that one. At 4 o'clock, you've got some games out there that you might want to sneak a peek at. Well, technically 4:30, I guess. Nebraska at Oregon. That's on Fox. That should be another good one. That one, Oregon right now, I believe, is a 14-point favorite last time I saw that, Lowell. Can you explain that to me? 14-point favorite?
Yeah, Nebraska's not very good.
Okay, well, there you go. There's your explanation and inside scoop from Lowell, the producer. NC State hosts Marshall at 6 o'clock. And then, of course, it gets a little bit deeper at 7 p.m. as Auburn will come to Clemson, the 13th-ranked Tigers taking on your Clemson Tigers, and that's when the night gets crazy. Also at 7, South Carolina at Missouri. That's on ESPN2. By the way, Clemson and Auburn on ESPN. Then you've got number 5, Oklahoma at Ohio State. That's a 7:30 start on ABC. Georgia at Notre Dame, a 7:30 start on NBC. Get your televisions ready, people. Lots of great football. Then at 8:30, it'll be Stanford, number 14, at number 6, Southern Cal. You've got Boise State at 10:30 at Washington State. Houston at Arizona at 10:30 on ESPNU. Lowell, I don't know what time you'll be going to bed early Sunday morning, but I imagine it will be between 1:30 and 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I'd if I was a betting man, I'd go with the over on the 1:30.
Now, games that have been canceled. Louisiana Monroe at Florida State has been canceled. Miami at Arkansas State, canceled. South Florida at Connecticut has been canceled. And Northern Colorado at Florida has been canceled. But again, the biggest news on that front, Florida State not playing, ladies and gentlemen, is huge because James Blackman, their freshman quarterback who's never thrown a football collegiately, will not have a chance to play a football game live before the Florida State Seminoles take on the Miami Hurricanes next weekend. I also think about this too, Lowell, and I don't know how these I don't know, honestly, which ones of these games have just been canceled completely and which ones are going to be made up. But
from what I can tell, they've pretty much all been canceled completely.
Well,
I don't think they're going to be made up.
You know, in the old days, there was a little bit of a punishment in some respects for that because you didn't play as many games as somebody else. You didn't have as many opportunities to potentially lose as somebody else. And that was kind of taken into account, especially in the computer era with the BCS. You have to wonder, when the guys out in Grapevine get together, not that any of these games would have been, quote, maybe challenges for these teams, but if Miami or Florida State at the end of the year are in the conversation to be in the top 4, does it hurt them that they've played one less game if they do not make these games up?
I think the only way it does is, you know, if Northern Colorado goes 3-9, I don't think they're really going to care that game wasn't played, because I think you would assume Florida was going to dominate that game anyway. So you can kind of, you know, you can't officially give them a win, but you can kind of go, okay, Florida would have won that ball game. And I kind of feel like that's going to be the case for all of these teams. Maybe Arkansas State. Arkansas State may be a fringe 10-win team. And, I mean, the only way that really hurts is, you know, that could have been a quality win that goes on Miami's resume. I don't think they're really going to punish them for not playing the games, though.
The question, though, also becomes, you know, who are the teams that you're around, I guess, in terms of what's their resume versus your resume? How similar? This is where it could get kind of crazy now. How similar are your resumes? And if you're missing a game, just one, and you got a similar resume, doesn't that have to be counted for something?
Maybe, but and you know, we can talk about all these problems we want to. It's all going to get sorted out at the end. It always does end up getting sorted out at the end anyways, but I just don't see these games as being super important to any of these teams' schedule. So I just don't think it's going to matter at the end to the committee.
Well, and you also wonder, too, it's not as if this game is being left off because of, you know, Florida State or Miami or somebody just refusing to play or whatever the purpose is. I mean, this is a severe weather event causing these games to be taken off of the slate. Now, Clemson and Auburn underway, or will be underway. They're underway in studio, but we did get a memo from the athletic department earlier saying, hey, no plans to cancel this game. Everything should be good to go. Right now they've tracked the weather. They've tracked the Hurricane Irma. They feel like everything's good tomorrow. But with these two squaring off, you know, there's a lot of comparisons between Clemson and Auburn that have existed for a long time. You go back, and Louis Grizzard famously said that Clemson was Auburn with a lake. And even my first visit to Auburn and looking at Sanford Hall, I couldn't help but think of the resemblance and the feeling of how it felt like Tillman Hall and Clemson's campus. And last year, Lowell, the producer, and myself had a chance to be down there and kind of experience the city and kind of experience the atmosphere. And it had a very, very similar feel to Clemson, I thought, in terms of the campus and the stadium on campus and all of that. It's hard to deny the fact that these schools are eerily similar in terms of their mascots, their colors. I mean, you go back to Walter Riggs, who left Auburn in 1896 and came to Clemson and sort of created the Clemson Tiger program. He hired John Heisman, who, of course, was Auburn's football coach, to come to Clemson. And then, in 1896, Riggs hired Heisman to come to Auburn to be their head coach. In 1900, he hires Heisman to come to Clemson. Heisman would, of course, in 1903, leave Tigertown and head over to Atlanta to do work for the Yellow Jackets. And do work did he ever. Just ask Cumberland as he put up 222 on the board on them. How do you think that went over?
Yeah, wasn't Didn't Cumberland have like 10 players on the team?
Hey, if you give up 222 points, I don't care how many players you have on the team. By the way, in the official Clemson Sports Talk simulation right now, Tigers winning 14-3. Tigers winning 14-3. Auburn and Clemson also pretty similar in this respect. Auburn with claims to the 1957 and 2010 national titles. Clemson won it all in 1981 and 2016. Both of these teams rank in the top 25 in all-time winning percentage in the FBS. So a lot of similarities there between Clemson and Auburn. Another one, All In. Dabo Swinney brought All In first. Chizik then stole it, wouldn't win a title with it. Everybody kind of correlated it to him. He got fired. Now it's back. It's Dabo's and Clemson's again. Am I missing anything else on that rivalry, the relationship between these two?
No, I mean, and we had former Clemson head coach Tommy Bowden on, who was the offense coordinator at Auburn, and he even talked about some of the similarities between Clemson and Auburn.
Well, and again, these are two very proud fan bases. I think another similar thing between these two programs is this. They are not the state-named school in a state that values college football. Alabama's the state-named school. Auburn is not. South Carolina's the state-named school. Clemson is not. Let's take it out to the phone lines real quick. We got about a minute and some change. Not too long, Tar Hizzle, buddy. What's going on, my man?
Man, I'll be short and sweet. I'll give you a similarity between the two schools. Didn't Steele coach at Clemson?
Yes.
And now he's coaching at Auburn.
Yes.
And didn't Steele, in a bowl game, let West Virginia hang like 100.5 on y'all?
It was almost 200, I think. 222 to be exact.
Well, you heard it here first from Tar Hizzle. 45-10 Tigers roll Auburn.
Wow.
Thanks to Mr. Steele.
45-10. Tar Hizzle.
Holy crap.
That's a blowout, baby. That's a blowout, Lowell. 45-10 tomorrow?
Yeah. You thought about, Clemson fans talked about Kevin Stegall for last year. I don't know, man. He's done a good job at Auburn with the talent that he's had there. So I don't think you can just chalk up Kevin Steele as a win in your pocket.
Man, 45-10. Tiger Nation's out there feeling good.
How dare you fill my head with such loathsome propaganda?
That's the score, baby. If Clemson beats Auburn 45-10, I'm going to come in here on Monday, assuming we're here on Monday. By the way, that's another thing, too. With the weather conditions, there's a possibility that we may not be on the air, but you'll want to be here on Fox Sports Radio or even on 560 WVOC for all the latest news coverage of Hurricane Irma as it makes its way here to the Midlands. But, man, 45-10, I'll walk in here with bells on Monday if the Tigers pull that off. Stay with us.
Update on Hurricane Irma. I'm Lisa Carter, NBC News Radio. South Florida and the Florida Keys under a hurricane watch and a storm surge watch as Hurricane Irma heads that direction. The National Hurricane Center says Irma's maximum sustained winds have dropped slightly to 175 miles an hour. It's expected to land near Miami Sunday morning. Florida Governor Rick Scott warning that Irma is larger than his entire state.
Regardless of what coast you live on, be prepared to evacuate. Floridians on the West Coast cannot be complacent. This storm can still move west.
Forecasters also say the chance of direct impacts increasing in portions of Georgia and the Carolinas, but they say it's too early for specifics. Many people in Florida heeding the warning to evacuate, get out before the storm hits, but there are problems with long lines and fuel outages. Governor Scott says he's working to get federal rules and regulations waived to get as much fuel into the state as possible. Lisa Carter, NBC News Radio.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again. Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan. With quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
Looking for South Carolina's favorite country? You'll find it at 97.5 WCOS.
I'm going to be honest with you. What's it like to have a real celebrity in the room with you, Lowell? Not me. JR from 104.7 WNOK just stopped by to talk to us a little bit. He told me to tell you guys that Childish Gambino is the man. I think he's talking about my wrestling name. Clemson out to a 17-3 lead over Auburn here in the official simulation. This one's got the makings of being very similar to the score that Tar Hizzle just gave us, which was 45-10 Tigers.
Yeah, Jarrett Stidham, look at the completion numbers, 10 for 13. They just can't get anything down the field, and they can't get the run game going.
Well, because they don't have time in the pocket, they've been forced to run little quick screens out into the flats. They're not willing to drop back and pass. That Clemson defensive front, Christian Wilkins and company will gobble you up, man. And that's the thing that I think people are still underrating. You realize, realistically, yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah, saw that coming.
Realistically, and I don't have the number in front of me, Lowell, but I'm guessing it's probably under 10% of the plays, maybe under 5% of the plays last year. Heck, I don't know how many, but it's not many. How many plays last year did Clemson go Wilkins to Lawrence at the defensive tackle side by side? Very few, if any. I mean, I don't remember any right offhand.
Yeah, because Wilkins was out at the end most of the time.
Right, but was there ever, I was trying to think, was there ever a moment where Bryant came in, Farrell was in, kind of what you've got this year?
I don't think so. I think part of it is because you had Carlos Watkins at the defensive tackle spot. And so, look, Carlos Watkins was a beast in his own right. So you didn't necessarily need Wilkins at the defensive tackle spot with Dexter Lawrence, because you had Carlos Watkins and you had Scott Pagano.
Yeah. Well, this year you've got a situation, of course, where you're going to have those two guys on the interior for Clemson. And I don't know how much film there is of those guys playing side by side, but that's a different duo to deal with. Alliteration, Lowell. This is the alliteration edition of the program. That is a different duo to deal with. Those dudes are downright disgusting. Dexter and I wish Christian's name.
Yeah, you can't do anything with that.
Man, I mean, I was on a roll. But I'm serious about that. I mean, those two guys in the middle are so formidable. It's almost unfair to watch those two guys come after you. Now, Auburn is they're no pushover either. defensively by any means. And, of course, if you were listening to the program earlier in the week, you would know that our good buddy Michael Felder from the Bleacher Report said, I think this could be the best defensive line matchup in college football this season. But I'll tell you this, at least in the regular season, I guess he said, but Clemson's weapons offensively in terms of the wideouts, running backs, tight end, Malin Richard looks really good in the open field, man.
Here's the bigger key to me, even with those skill position players that Clemson has. Yeah, the two defensive lines are really good, but the defensive lines aren't going up against each other. So who do you trust more, the Clemson offensive line or the Auburn offensive line?
That's a great question. I always like it when you ask me, who do you trust?
And now, folks, it's time for Who Do You Trust? Hubba, 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 money, money, money. Who do you trust? Me? I'm giving away free money.
Yeah. Who do you trust?
I got to tell you, a lot of pundits saying Clemson has one of the best offensive lines in the country.
Yeah.
So, again, the defensive lines aren't playing against each other. They're both going to play, but not head-to-head. Auburn's offensive line looking a little shaky in the opener. Clemson's offensive line has all sorts of accolades. Who do you trust more?
803-978-1832. 803-978-1832 is the number. The hashtag on Twitter, CST Show, or at Clemson Sports. Of course, Auburn with a new offensive coordinator in Chip Lindsey coming in. Again, they've got similar tendencies to what Gus Malzahn likes to do. But Clemson right now in our official simulation on the verge of blowing this thing open. Travion Thompson with an 8-yard reception. Tigers first and goal at the 3, up 17-3 with 2:46 remaining in the third quarter.
C.J. Fuller.
Fuller into the end zone. Clemson goes up 24-3 on Auburn. Can you imagine the feeling around Clemson tomorrow night with 2:43 remaining if that's the score? By the way, can I give away a little tidbit of information to the people?
Sure.
How many of you guys and girls out there listening to the program are on Snapchat?
I'm not. I am not on Snapchat.
You're not?
I'm not. I don't use Snapchat.
Let me tell you what I got, Lowell. This is a little tidbit for you. I got a geo filter set up tomorrow for the game.
You did show me that. That looks really cool, actually.
So, from 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, around Death Valley, you can use our committed geo filter. When did I show that to you?
Last night.
Oh. Then, Lowell, I realized today that I could also put one essentially on the hill during the entire game and around the stadium during the game, and I've secured that one too. So tomorrow during the game, if you're in the right areas of the stadium, if you're in the right areas of the tailgate, after 5 o'clock, you will be able to have your very own Clemson Sports Talk filter, whatever you call it, at the game between Clemson and Auburn.
How about that?
Awesome, right? Just flat out awesome.
First you get verified on Twitter.
Yes, I did.
Then you get your own Snapchat filter.
Yes, I did.
You're on a roll here.
Has your verification come through?
No. I don't think you're working very hard to put the word in for me.
Well, just tell them you know Lawton Swan.
I did. That's exactly what I said.
I don't know what's wrong. I don't know why they're keeping you. Why are they always trying to hold you back, Lowell? It's unfortunate. I'm hopeful, Lowell, that they'll approve you based on that knowledge. You are who you say you are. You're Lowell the producer. Is there any other Lowell the producer out there?
There wasn't on Twitter.
You should change your name to the real Lowell the producer.
You got to have the real in there so that they know it's real.
They know it's real. They know you are who you are. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's got me a little bit concerned about your ability to get what's it called? Verified? Yeah. Clemson up 24-3. We're getting ready to hit the fourth quarter here. We're getting ready to also hit the College Sports Corner, brought to you by our good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, where Lowell, the topics are in hermetically sealed envelopes, yes?
Yes.
To which I do not know the contents, yes?
Yes.
When we come back here on the show that shakes the Southland, Lowell, the producer, will dish the topics. I get to enjoy the college football game, which he's been watching for the whole show. And we shall return with more Clemson Sports Talk. Stay with us.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan. With quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com. Lawton Swan here, and I know in sports we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need to do is head down to Orangeburg to my good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. 4 generations of family-owned business right there at Ferry Chevrolet. No dock fees, no tricks, straightforward pricing in a low-pressure environment you'll love. Check them out online, ferrychevrolet.com, or call them 803-536-1600. It's Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, just a short 30-minute drive off of exit 145A in Orangeburg.
At OPEX Columbia, we aim to inspire, empower, and challenge individuals to reach their highest potential. We take this mission very seriously and sincerely desire to help people achieve the goals they set out for themselves. OPEX Columbia is where you will excel no matter what your goal, whether that be health and wellness, body composition, or being a competitive athlete. We are conveniently located downtown across from the South Carolina Baseball Stadium. Contact us at opexcolumbia.com and mention this ad to receive 10% off your 3-part assessment.
As a small business owner, you make every dollar count. So what could you do with $10? Go to Vistaprint.com today and you'll get 500 high-quality custom business cards for only $9.99. That's less than 2 cents per card. And at Vistaprint, your satisfaction is absolutely guaranteed. So it's never been easier to turn 500 strangers into connections. Just visit Vistaprint.com and use promo code 5858 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 5858.
Have you been thinking about sprucing up your yard, debating between pine straw or mulch? Call my friends at Carolina Turfgrass to get your yard looking as great as mine right now. I chose to go with pine straw this year, and it looks incredible. Carolina Turfgrass is conveniently located at 5400 Augusta Road in Lexington, and if you need your order delivered, they can take care of that too. In addition, Carolina Turfgrass carries a wide variety of turfs, including Centipede and Bermuda. For unmatched quality and service, call Carolina Turfgrass, 446-6525. Look for Carolina Turfgrass on Highway 1 in Lexington.
From 2 men into truck movers who care, tonight the skies will stay clear and the temperatures will fall comfortably into the upper 50s. Tomorrow, sunny and beautiful, highs near 80 degrees. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by Publix Supermarkets.
Hunger is a reality for so many families in our communities. Give them hope and help alleviate hunger by donating to Food for Sharing today at your local Publix, because giving even a little can make a big difference.
Follow Clemson Sports Talk on Twitter at Clemson Sports. Now more of Clemson Sports Talk. Take it away, Dad.
I was trying to get it how I live. I want them dead presidents. I want to pull up, head spin. Get it, get fly. I got 6 jobs. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. Get it, get fly. I got 6 jobs. I don't get full-time father, full-time artist.
Clemson Sports Talk. Blowout City at Death Valley today. Clemson up 24-3 with 5:15 remaining in the official CST simulation Saturday edition of the program.
Yeah, questionable fourth down call by Auburn to run the read option. Dorian O'Daniel coming in and blowing it up.
Dorian O'Daniel's a smart kid. He read it the whole way. Oh, Kelly pulls it. Oh, he's slicing and dicing. Looking Woodrow Dantzler-esque here. Lowell, the producer, though, it is the College Sports Corner. Of course, you wheel 'em and deal 'em, and I get to dish and pontificate on said topics, which is always a good time for me, and it's brought to you by our good friends down at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac in Orangeburg.
Clemson Sports Talk presents the College Sports Corner, brought to you by Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. Just a short drive down I-26 at exit 145A in Orangeburg. Now, CST reporter Lawton Swan.
Yeah, buddy, this thing is ugly here. What's going on in Death Valley right now? I'm telling you, if it's like this on Saturday, there's going to be a lot of celebrating for the Clemson Tiger fans out there. All right, Lowell, you've got the topics. Hermetically sealed envelopes. I don't know the contents. You dish them, I talk about them. Topic 1.
So, a lot of Georgia fans are making the trip to South Bend to play Notre Dame, to watch Georgia play Notre Dame this weekend.
Clemson's got that matchup coming up in a couple of years. That's a big, big game, man. Great
so,
venue.
There was a flight scheduled to leave at 9:55 a.m. today, but a bunch of people had tickets, and Delta Airlines had an overflow. So Delta Airlines offered $2,200 for fans to take the next flight. They offered to pay out $2,200.
Right.
Nobody took it. So they bumped the offer to $2,800. Nobody bid.
Are you kidding me?
They bumped it to $3,000.
Yeah.
Guess what happened?
If you say nobody bid.
Nobody bid.
You know what? You know what this is telling me? Georgia fans are just dumb.
And then
what?
Finally, at $4,000, they got a taker to leave the flight. And just to be clear on this,
yeah,
the kickoff is 33 and a half hours after the flight's departure.
You could take the $4,000 or the $3,000.
You can go see a lot of Georgia games for that.
And drive. Rent a car. I don't mean to offend all my Georgia fans who would have gotten off the plane at $3,000, but come on, people. Lowell, I would have walked at $2,200. I mean, maybe I'm just not in the same financial situation as everybody else that was sitting on that plane.
Or maybe they knew that nobody would take it, so they waited.
Oh, it was a conspiracy?
They waited till it went up enough.
So that just one person could get it? Yeah, that makes sense. I want to be the guy that could use $2,200, but I want to wait it out so some other slim rod can go over there and get it for $4 before me. No, thank you. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I did not know that one. Topic 2.
So we mentioned yesterday about Urban Meyer making some comments to Tom Herman about how they got a kind of a dose of reality and to stop blaming the previous coaching staff and things of that nature.
Did they part ways on bad terms?
I don't think so. I don't think they did. Or maybe Urban's just not a good guy to coach under. Ooh. But Tom Herman...
Truth hurts.
Tom Herman came back with some comments of his own. Well, kind of. They asked Tom Herman for his comments, and he said, I don't have any. I don't have time to worry about comments made by somebody else about their program. I'm worried about our program and winning a game. Anybody that's been around me and our staff for the last 10 months knows we've never disparaged the previous staff or our current players. Now, let me ask you, considering what Herman said about how they couldn't rub pixie dust on this thing and get it fixed,
right.
That kind of seems like they're disparaging the players and the former coaching staff.
Their own players. Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, and that would be an inaccurate statement that he just made, that he has never done that. By the way, Jarrett Stidham's only got 4 incompletions on the day, but he's only run screen passes for the majority of the afternoon.
Yeah, Clemson has more sacks than he has incompletions, though. I think they have 6 or 7 sacks at this point.
I mean, they're all over him, man.
And look at that. Clemson's chewing the clock down to nothing and running the ball.
Next topic, Lowell.
Oh, wow. Speaking of Texas, you know I like me a little bit of Shane Buechele at quarterback for Texas.
Do. Yeah, you do.
Shane Bichelle is a game day decision with a shoulder injury.
Your man crush is out?
He threw for 375 yards and 2 touchdowns last week in the season opening loss to Maryland. He had a pretty good performance in that game.
Yeah.
But he is a game time decision against San Jose State.
I'm surprised your Facebook status doesn't say Lowell is depressed. I'm surprised you just hadn't gone ahead and updated that just straight away. I'm surprised I hadn't seen the tweet from Lowell the producer that just says, or Lowell CST that just says, I'm finished here. I can't go on. My life has no meaning. Shane Bichelle's not playing on the second Saturday in 2017. What is a man to do with himself, Lowell? How will you ever survive this weekend?
I don't know. I don't know how I'm not going to, I got to be able to watch my Shane Bichelle. I got to be able to watch him.
Right? Man Crush Mondays won't be the same without Shane. We should do a segment every week that you update us on Shane Bichelle's weekend social media or whatever. How things are going for him. How great would that be? All right, final topic in the College Sports Corner night before we get to Lowell's locks and our predictions.
So, last week, Kevin Sumlin has not had a good week, obviously, with the loss to UCLA. Last week, apparently, he received some racist hate mail at his home, and he was not the one to open it. His wife actually opened it, and I'm not going to say what it said on air.
Right.
We'll just know it was racial in nature.
It was.
It was very, very ugly. His wife took a picture of it, took it to Twitter, and said, "People of 2017, please tell me how any part of this is okay. And to the sender, did it not occur to you that a child may have opened it?"
Right. I did know this story. I've seen it. It's not a fun one to talk about. And it disgusts me that we have people that still think like this in America. And that's the only thing I can tell you. I have no other words for the ignorance that's written in that paper. It was disgusting. So, all right, Lowell, we got Lowell's locks coming up. It looks like Clemson's got this one locked up against Auburn 34-3. This is not far off from the prediction that we got from Tar Hizzle earlier that took Clemson to win 45-10. Auburn's punting with 1:04 left. Christian Wilkins and the boys celebrating a big, big day in Death Valley, shutting down the Auburn offense. And, that's one of the things that, again, Jarrett Stidham, road environment. It's been a while. And I don't know that he's ever played in an environment like Clemson's. We'll come back. Lowell's locks. Clemson dominates. Tigers are going to win this one big against Auburn. Stay with us here on the show that shakes the Southland.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
This is Bob. Bob is going to shop for a diamond. Bob finds a diamond online that's a few $100s cheaper than a local store. Bob is so happy he's saved himself some money. This is Mary.
Hello.
Mary's dating Bob. Bob comes over to Mary's house and pops the question. Mary squeals.
My gosh, I can't believe this is happening.
And then says,
"Wait, what's wrong with this diamond? It's yellow and has spots."
Bob is shocked. Mary runs away, never to be seen with Bob again. The moral to this story, don't be Bob. When you want the right diamond to pop the question for the love of your life, shop Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse. Our consultants are trained to help you through the diamond buying process. They'll educate you so you can make the most important jewelry purchase of your life with confidence. Our goal is for you to find the perfect diamond that she'll cherish forever. And that's how you make sure your story has a happily ever after ending. Satterfield's Jewelry Warehouse, for life's every moment. Don't be Bob.
Cottingham Family Dentistry is proud to announce the opening of their new office located at 3722 Devine Street, and they're welcoming new patients. What makes Cottingham Family Dentistry different? It's in the name, family. They will cater to your needs and the dental needs of your children. Cottingham Family Dentistry offers same-day crowns, dental implants, cosmetic dentistry, including whitening, veneers, and tooth-colored fillings, and many other dental services. If you're searching for an amazing dental home, call 776-4234 or stop by their new office at 3722 Devine Street and become a part of the family at Cottingham Family Dentistry.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show now at 978-1832 or text 803-450-0086.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, the answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
It is a final from Death Valley. Clemson in the official CST Simulation Saturday edition wipes the floor with Auburn. Lowell, final score, 34-3?
34-3.
Wow. Have you collected all of that information into the official database for the show?
I'm writing it all down now.
All right, so here we are. Less than 24 hours out from Clemson and Auburn. Less than 24 hours out from South Carolina and Mizzou. Diving in. We've got Lowell's locks. Then we've got our predictions. Lowell, are your locks ready to rock and roll?
Oh, I'm ready to go.
All right, Lowell's lock number one, and by locks, I mean unlocks, and by unlocks, I mean don't believe anything you hear.
All right, let's start with that Ohio State-Oklahoma game. Now, I am not a big fan of Baker Mayfield. You may know. Not like personally. I just don't like him as a football player.
Okay.
He looks good against the UTEPs of the world where he goes, 19 of 20 passing?
Sure.
He looks incredible. What happens when he gets into a big game? What happens when he runs up on a Clemson in the playoffs? What happens when he runs up on Ohio State last season? He's a playground player. He's careless with the football. And when you're undisciplined against a disciplined defense, you suffer. You pay the price. I am not a believer in Baker Mayfield. Everyone's jumping on the Oklahoma bandwagon. I'm not. I'm taking Ohio State, 7-point favorite, and the points in this ballgame.
I agree. Don't buy Oklahoma at all. I think Ohio State walks away from them unless J.T. Barrett has a terrible performance. A terrible performance by Barrett could offset that. But I agree. I don't think it'll be as close as it was in our simulation, which was an Ohio State comeback overtime victory.
Stanford at USC. Stanford's a 6.5-point dog to the Trojans. Stanford,
Lock number 2.
Stanford looked impressive in that first game. It was Rice, but they looked impressive. They came out and took care of business. USC, meanwhile, had to row the boat out of some danger against Western Michigan. Snuck away with a win there. I got to tell you, I love Stanford in this ballgame. 6.5-point underdog. You got to be kidding me. Sam Darnold's a good quarterback. This is going to be the best defense he faces this season. Stanford.
That's the dumbest thing I've heard of.
Stanford, I think, walks away with it. I'm taking Stanford outright to beat USC.
You were serious about that?
Absolutely, I am.
Wow. Lock number 3.
South Carolina and Missouri. Now,
lock them up, Lowell.
This is going to be a weird game, and I think it's going to go down something similar to what we saw in the simulation. Maybe it'll be an ugly ball game in the first half, but I think the offenses and defenses, the defenses are going to kind of let go in the second half, and it's going to be an offensive shootout. Missouri is a 3-point favorite.
Yeah.
The problem is, I think South Carolina has a better defense than Missouri does.
Okay.
I think the South Carolina connection of Jake Bentley to Deebo Samuel is going to go off. I got South Carolina beating Missouri in this ball game, somewhat of a high-scoring affair, something similar to our simulation, but I have it going down 35-28 South Carolina.
Really? Hold on. Let me hear what we got in the background here. Are you taking the Gamecocks there, Law?
I'm taking the Gamecocks against Missouri.
Okay. There it is, a little Gamecock fanfare. All right, next lock.
And the game of the night, Clemson and Auburn.
Okay.
Clemson, a 5-point favorite in this game. I don't know that it's going to be as bad as the simulation was where it's 34-3. I think Auburn probably puts up a couple more points than 3.
Sure.
I love the matchup for Clemson's defense, though.
Yeah.
I think Clemson's defensive front is going to get after Jarrett Stidham. I think Cam Petway, he's a hoss. He's a good running back. I don't think he's going to be able to bust loose against the Clemson defensive front. And I think Clemson's offensive line, as good as Auburn's defensive line is, Clemson's offensive line is better. I think Clemson and Kelly Bryant, they grind it down on the ground. Somewhat low scoring. I don't think they beat the over-under of 54. But I got Clemson taking this game 31-17 in Death Valley.
31-17. Is that the final lock of the week?
That's the final lock.
All right, there we go. So the Clemson Tigers and the Auburn Tigers squaring off. I'll give you my predictions as well. We'll start, though, with South Carolina and Missouri. Again, at the beginning of the season, this was one of those games I kept giving South Carolina. I watched Missouri struggle last week with Missouri State. I watched South Carolina scrap and fight and find a way to win. I think South Carolina's the better team. I think South Carolina's got better skill position players. Matter of fact, I don't believe Jake Bentley is a fantastically great quarterback in the world of college football right now. I think he can get there. He's still young and growing as a sophomore. But I believe he's the best quarterback in this ball game. And I think that he'll play well enough for South Carolina to win. And I think the Gamecocks will beat Missouri. And I think the Gamecocks will move to 2-0 on the season. Better than Drew Lock? Yes, I think he is. Best quarterback in the SEC? I don't believe so. I still think he's got a long way to go, but I think he'll lead South Carolina to a victory tomorrow night out in Columbia, Missouri. As for Clemson and Auburn, I do believe the Tigers are going to be in the building taking care of business. Taking care of business tomorrow night against Auburn. This Clemson Tiger football team, like they said, they like Andy Staples said, I should say, they are built differently. They are built like Alabama. They are built like Ohio State. There is a separate tier right now reserved for Clemson. They're in the elite programs of all of college football. Auburn is not. This coaching staff has proven to me time and time out that they are willing to do what it takes to win these ball games and protect the quarterback's best interest. Kelly Bryant gives them a unique threat. I said it at the beginning of the week after watching him against Kent State. It may sound like sacrilege to say it or blasphemy. He gives this Clemson Tiger offense a dimension that Deshaun Watson didn't. Now, the 6 inches between his ears, when it's crunch time, if they need him, can he deliver at the same level Watson did? That's yet to be determined. But what is, for me, absolutely a fact, he is much better on the ground than Deshaun Watson ever was at Clemson, and that's an additional weapon for the Tigers. And for that reason, I've got Clemson winning this game against Auburn 34-23. I think Clemson wins it going away. For Lowell, the producer, I'm Lawton Swan. 34-23. Your Tigers win it tomorrow against Auburn until Monday, potentially. As always, y'all take care now. And go Tigers!
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Join Lexington Medical Center for the Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers, South Carolina 5K Run and Walk, Friday, September 15th at 7 p.m. in Columbia's Vista. This unforgettable patriotic event champions the heroism of our nation's first responders and service members. Walk, run, and honor our heroes. To register, visit t2trunsc.org. The Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk, Friday, September 15th in the Vista. t2trunsc.org.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.